When we think about college and university presidents' leadership, it might seem like one job, when in reality, presidents often experience the job in many distinct phases. These phases might be over different periods of time and they might come in different orders, but having a roadmap can help us be clear about where our focus is and where it will be in the future. Having a roadmap and having an awareness of what that is also helps us be more flexible and adaptable to the realities we're facing as leaders. Today, I want to talk with you about the different phases of presidential leadership for colleges and universities. When we're looking about these phases of presidential leadership, this is not a detailed checklist. These phases emerge naturally through the course of leadership, and other phases that I won't mention might fit themselves in there. Each phase might be a year, but some might be 6 months, others might be 3 years. We want to have this roadmap and awareness so we can have a plan for myself as a president, for my board, and for my senior leaders. So we're not all trying to do all the things at once, or people aren't wondering, why aren't you doing a strategic plan? Isn't that what a president's supposed to do? To know that these things will come at the right moment and the right progression. So we don't try and do all things at this moment in time. Let's space things out and prepare. So I would mention each of these phases. In phase one, we're really getting started. We're listening, learning, and going from being an outsider to an insider. This is where we want to go on a listening tour. We want to talk to as many people as we possibly can. We want to read as many things about what is happening in the history and the culture. We want to fill our closet with the school colors and alignment. We want to go from someone who used to be the provost over there to someone who is the president here. We want to let go of the past and be so enthusiastic, so committed, so dedicated to this new place. And we want to learn as much as we possibly can about it. We want to get settled for ourselves, our home, and probably our family. We want to get to know the people. And this is also when we're starting to determine, are the senior leaders that we're leading the right fit or not? Some of them may want to transition out under new leadership. Some of them may want to stay. There might be some who you really find valuable and helpful, and others who you need to move on from. And this is the place where we're not doing that transition, but we're learning what we need to learn in order to make that possible. Those transitions come in phase two. Phase two is about co-creating a new direction. So this is where we're putting our new leadership team in place once we've learned about them. We're also starting to ask the campus community that we've gotten to know, what is next? What is ahead? This gets formalized often in a strategic plan, and many presidents, because they're often very smart, very experienced, and very insightful, want to write a strategic plan. That's a rookie mistake. Something that a first-time president might do, but a two-time president never would do. A strategic plan is something you want to co-create with the campus community. You want to be the facilitator, including many voices, but facilitating the synthesis and bringing those things together about what's going to move forward. So how are you facilitating the co-creation of the campus community, all aspects, about the next direction for this institution? From there, we move into phase three, which is the launching of the strategic plan, revealing it, sharing it, talking about it, and then aligning the actions with that. What needs to shift about how the institution operates to achieve the strategic plan? What needs to be rearranged? What resources need to be differently allocated? What positions? What organizational structure? What do you need to enroll the alumni, the stakeholders, the partners in to make the strategic plan move forward? Stage four is sustaining the momentum. This is where we're continuing. Now that the release of the plan has happened, and that's maybe a year or two behind us, how do we keep the energy renewed? How do we make adjustments, adapt what needs to be adapted? What have we learned in the first year or two of the launch of the strategic plan that we can adapt as we move forward? Stage five is where we move to external focus and probably a capital campaign. This is where a president says, I've been here for a number of years. I've really gotten to know this place, and I've helped co-create a strategic plan. We've launched that. We've initiated that. We've recalibrated and readjusted. And now I want to begin to put my focus towards the partnerships and the resources for the next iteration of the institution. And this is where we start to move from our internal institutional operations to the external. We're really engaging with the board, with trustees, with alumni, with campus partners. This usually includes a lot of travel and a lot of storytelling to engage others and to build the resources, both financial and relational, for the next phase of the institution. Following this comes transition. And this is where a college president might say, is it time for me to move on? And this is two-sided. On one side, you might say, do I want to continue at this institution? Would a new presidency renew my energy and my enthusiasm? Or do I want to stay here and be committed to seeing this institution through a whole nother cycle of presidential leadership? The other part of that is, does the institution need new voices and new perspectives? Or would it benefit from steady leadership and continuity? And it has to be what is good for the president and what is good for the institution integrated together. A really important phase that I haven't given a number to because you don't get to decide when it happens is accreditation. Now, accreditation is primarily around the academic aspects of the institution, but don't let it be limited to that. Include all aspects of the institution. Now, accreditation might land in year 2 or year 8. You won't really have a say about that, but accreditation deserves its own phase, and you have to fit it in so it builds on what came before and helps set up what comes next. Then there's the next phase, and this is either beginning to leave the institution, applying for other presidencies and bringing closure, setting the institution up for the next leadership. Or if you're deciding to renew and recommit to the institution, be sure to take some time for reflection. What have I learned in this full and complete cycle? And what do I want to do differently in the next cycle? And from there, we often move into a whole renewed part. We go back to re-listening and relearning about the institution, trying to bring fresh perspectives. We might relook at our leadership team. We might co-create a new plan for what comes next from what we've learned from the last strategic plan, and maybe an update or maybe a whole new plan. And we re-engage in some of these similar things all over again. Again, naming these phases can help us create a roadmap. Having a roadmap isn't something we stick to regardless of what comes at us, but it is a map that helps us be nimble and adjustable to the realities that we're facing. It helps us ask the right questions at the right time, not try and do all things at once. It helps with overwhelm. It helps organize the focus of the campus community, particularly for the president and senior leadership, but the rest of the campus community and also the board or the trustees that you might be reporting to. Helping college presidents through their leadership of colleges and universities is something that I'm deeply passionate and love doing. If you feel like your campus leadership could benefit from support in navigating these phases and many others, I would love to connect.